Max, the defensive effort against Arkansas was a night and day different from 2 years ago last year to Saturday. And one in particular highlight was Tyler Batty. He had career high in tackles, forced a fumble, recovered a fumble, and he ended up being named the conference defensive player of the week. What can you say about his effort on the line and how that kind of spearheaded what you guys were able to accomplish on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, our defense as a whole, our whole mentality is just to fly to the ball, and Tyler obviously showed that on Saturday. He was everywhere. He was relentless with his pass rush. But all the D linemen, all the linebackers, I feel like we all have that mentality, and the safeties as well. Corners making open field tackles. Just the mindset as a whole is just swarm the offenders. Don't let them gain forward progress. At the end of plays, you always got to drive them backwards. So I think that's just been the mindset. We've all tried to apply that to our games, especially against a physical Arkansas team. So.
Max, I've asked the other guys this, and I'm kind of curious. I asked Kwani and Darius about this, but you guys showed resiliency through adversity in that game. What does that mean for these players going forward? How do you build on that, and what does that mean in the future games for you and the defense?
Yeah, I think anytime you start off a little slow, it's gonna take a hit to your team's morale. But going forward, and especially on Saturday, we had the mentality that there's so much game to be played. That happened in the first 4, 5, 6 minutes of the game. So we knew we had a lot of time to regain the momentum. Just keep our composure. A couple bad plays can't stop a whole team's momentum. So we just tried to keep that positive mindset going forward. Just knowing it was going to be a dogfight, and it's not always the way you want to start, but it's how you finish. So that's what we always had in our heads, is just finish strong and do what we know how to do.
Third down was key on that, Max. How big was those plays when you guys were able to get off the field?
Yeah, as a defense, 3 and outs, getting the punts early in the drives, those are huge plays. Getting off the field, getting that rest, letting the offense take care of business. That's something you're always striving for as a defense. So yeah, of course, those third down stops, fourth down stops, those were clutch throughout the game to get us some breathing time, and to get our offense back out there and have them do what they do. So.
Go ahead, Jay Drew.
Hey, Max, now that you're in a conference for the first time in your career, do you find yourself kind of checking out the other Big 12 scores, what other Big 12 teams did, especially in the light of the fact you guys were picked 11th in the league? Is there anything there to that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be honest, yeah, I'm a big-time score checker, stat checker. I'm always on ESPN after the games, on the bus ride, plane rides home, seeing how the other teams in our conference are doing. Is like you said, it's my first time in my whole college career that I've been in a conference and really been able to track the guys, the teams within our conference. And yeah, it's interesting to see how they're doing against, teams that, maybe they're favored to win, whatever. But we know how football is. Every college team's going to come out swinging every week, especially when you're the underdog. You're going to want to, show what you can do, upset some teams, and we've seen that so far in the Big 12. We're just trying to stay on the opposite end of that. So.
And then, real quickly, on that interception you had, was that did you like bait the quarterback into throwing that? And just kind of how did that take place? Because it looked like he maybe didn't even see you there.
Yeah, obviously we got to give credit to Blake Mangelson and the D-line up front, getting the rush against their big offensive linemen. Without that, who knows how the pass would have been thrown. But yeah, ultimately I had in my mind, yeah, he wants to hit that little curl area. Just had to get to my drop and trust that the guys behind me were doing their job. So it would have been a tough throw if he would have made it in that window. So yeah, both sides doing their jobs, and up front getting the pressure ultimately led to a team interception there.
Okay, Max, we'll have 3 more questions for you. We'll go Sean Walker, Ron Weaver, and then Jake Hatch.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Max, you probably saw it as you were walking up. We were just talking with Darius Lassiter. This is obviously a pretty big game for him with his family ties to Kansas and everything. But as somebody who's gone up against Darius in practice a decent amount, you've got as kind of as good of a viewpoint matching up against him as anybody, I think, or looking out against him as anybody. What's he kind of brought to this team, and maybe give us like a mini self scout of him of what he does for you guys.
No, yeah. I mean, Darius, Keelan, these guys that we picked up in this offseason have been huge contributors, especially with Cody and Chase going through some things towards the beginning of the season. But yeah, Darius has been just what you want in a receiver, long, big body, can go up and grab the ball, make plays after the catch. It's been great having him. He's been a great addition to our team. Gives us a different threat on offense. And you've seen him give defenses threats or fits all season. So I think, yeah, I mean it's going to be fun for him. This is a big family ties game for him this weekend. So I didn't even really realize that till this morning, honestly, that he had all these family ties. But yeah, that's really cool. He's been great. I'm happy he chose the Y. Got to come play against his brother. So.
Max, you guys played against KJ Jefferson obviously this past weekend, and his ability to be able to throw the ball and run the ball effectively. You guys now prepare for Jaylen Daniels, who also can pass and run the ball. How does last week's performance defensively help you now to contain this quarterback?
Yeah, playing against KJ Jefferson, he's a threat both with his legs and with his arm. And we had the game plan in place to stop him, and we executed that ultimately. Yeah, and like you say, Jaylen Daniels, he's a little bit different kind of athlete, a little bit smaller, but still a great athlete nonetheless. He's going to be, a crucial part of their offense, so we need to figure out a way to stop him. But yeah, like you're saying, two great quarterbacks 2 weeks in a row. Seeing KJ is definitely going to help us prepare for this coming week. Yeah, we're excited to get after it, accept the challenge.
Go ahead, Jake.
Max, you mentioned Blake Mangelson in the pass rush against Arkansas and them playing a key role. Was that part of the game plan here, is to have those guys really force the action so you as linebackers can roam and make plays?
I mean, yeah, obviously with any defensive front, you want those guys to be getting pass rush. And we know, Arkansas had some longer developing pass concepts, a lot of drop back pass, and towards the end of the game we knew they were going to be throwing the ball. So yeah, it's a big point of emphasis to get those guys on the edge, get penetration, win the edges on their tackles, as well as the interior guys, getting their hands up in throwing lanes, penetrating their center, in their guards, and just getting in his face, getting in the throwing windows. So yeah, guys who are dropping in the back end can do their job. So yeah, having those guys up front, we've really been honing in on pass rush moves, getting better kind of pressure, and it obviously paid off a little bit on Saturday. So.
Thank you. Haircut looks good, by the way.
Hey, appreciate it.
Hey, Max, that's all the questions. Thanks
All right.
so much for being here.
Thank you.